Let me first address the feds watching. I have a quick question for you guys. Was there some event in your life that turned you into the godless, freedom-hating coward that you are? Or were you just born that way? Anyway, you feel free to answer in the comments. I intended the video today to be a little bit different. You see, originally, this is the footage, but right in the beginning of it, I had a little jab at CRS. You know, all in good fun, and it was going to drop right after the trial. You know, I couldn't make it down to Florida, so this was going to be my way of celebrating with him. But unfortunately, justice did not prevail in this case, did it? A lot of people have better breakdowns of this case than I could possibly do, but there are a few things I want to talk about here that seem really strange to me. Now, I'm sure as far as this case goes, everyone's racking their brains over the same thing I'm racking my brains over with it. But that's neither here nor there right now. For anyone that doesn't know, the auto key card in question is a piece of metal with a laser engraved lightning link on it. Now, this thing, you have to have power tools if you ever plan on cutting it out. I know some people have said something about popping it out of the metal. That's not true. You couldn't do that. It had to be cut out with some kind of saw, grinder, Dremel, something. You had to have power tools. Otherwise, it did not fit in the gun in any way, shape, or form. It was not readily convertible by any means. On top of that, there is no single example of this thing actually being cut out and working in a gun. Okay, yeah, the ATF tried, and at first they said they were able to make it work, but come to find out in the court case, they weren't. They ended up causing a malfunction is all they did. Now, I told you all of that because in the 11th hour of this case, the prosecution brought up an order, instructions for the jury, that they did not have to prove it was a machine gun. They only had to prove that the two defendants, CRS and Mr. Irving, were in possession, sold, yada, 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 whatever it was. From what I understand, this order was knocked down by the judge. Even so, I think it has some serious implications. Now, understand, what this is telling me is the ATF can decide you committed a crime. They don't have to prove that you committed the crime. They only have to prove that you had said item. This is what all of this tells me. Let me lay this out one more time to help myself understand it too. Starting out, this auto key card is not a machine gun by ATF definition. It's being sold, promoted, what have you. Then overnight, the ATF changes their minds, decides it's a machine gun. No letters, no notices, nothing like that, just arrests right away. We get to court where the trial is all about whether or not these two individuals transferred machine guns or not, i.e. the auto key cards. The 11th hour of the trial, the prosecution decides, oh, we don't have to determine that this is a machine gun. We don't have to prove it. But instead, all we have to prove is that you were in possession and you transferred them. What kind of implications is this? How does this even happen in a trial? I mean, from what I understand, it was kicked down, but what were the implications of it? And can it happen in another trial where a judge is not as friendly, I guess? I think so. What these guys truly got convicted on was the spread of information. The plans for a lightning link, also a drop-in auto sear, the spots where you need to bend them, they can all be found online. All 100% legally. All they did was make it a little bit more accessible to the public. So what they did was they made the information a little bit more readily available. How long before the information itself is illegal? I mean, with STL files for 3D printing, that's already become an issue. There may even be states that have outlawed certain things, I'm not sure. Definitely countries. For the last 100 years, they've been trying to take away the tools that guarantee our freedom. Now they want to take away the information. The tools aren't enough by themselves. They need the information too. Anyway, stew on that a little bit. That's all I've got for now. Thanks everyone for watching.